All right, I feel like we need an intro music or something, right? Well, welcome to Above the Score. This is episode three. With now I can call you my co-host, John. Your co-host, John Edelman, joining me here for the third week in a row. We are in the throes of the NFL season and the college football season. So those will be our two topics for today. We're going to discuss Week 18 results of the NFL season and the implications for the playoffs that start, I think, next week. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. We are also going to talk about college football playoffs, which we are now in the semifinals, and then we're going to talk about things around the edges of both those topics. So, John, welcome. Glad to have you back, my friend. Today is January 4th, and let's get started.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year to you, Matt.
Thank you.
Thank you for keeping me on board with this great idea of our little sports podcast. So
Oh yeah.
looking forward to getting into it. A lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I'll let you kick it off wherever you want to start, but there are multiple places where you can go, man, because there's been a lot going on.
Yeah. Let's start with NFL, but first I want to make a couple corrections. And there might be more than a couple, but there's a couple of things I was remembering from our last podcast. Number one, I kept referring to uh, Chauncey Johnson Gardner on our team as Sauce Gardner. Different players. Sauce Gardner's on the Colts, Chauncey Gardner's on the Bears. For some reason, I thought they were the same guy. I'm wrong, my bad. So, correction number one. Correction number two. And maybe I got this right, but I just seemed to, I was not sure when I said this, so I want to just clarify. AFC South is Jacksonville, Houston, Indianapolis, and Tennessee. I don't remember what I said, but I don't know if it was accurate. But that is the AFC South for the NFL. And I think I might have thrown the, I don't know. I don't know if that was it, or maybe it was AFC East I was misquoting. That's the Patriots, the Bills, the Miami Dolphins, and the Jets. So anyway, a couple errors I want to get out the way. But then let's jump in, right? So today was a big day for the Bears and the NFL teams that are competing for a playoff spot. For the Bears specifically, we had a seeding up in the air, right? And so best seed we could get was a two seed because Seattle locked up the one seed yesterday with their victory over their Niners. Worst seeding we could have gotten was the three seed. So it's between the two to the three seed, and the Bears end up locking up the two seed, which then pairs us against the Packers for the first week of the playoffs. And then the third seed went to the Eagles, who will then be playing was it the Niners? I think
It
it's
is the Niners.
it's
Yeah.
49ers. Okay. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about our spot? How do you feel about the team we're playing? What do you think about the what did you want to happen?
I mean, I gotta tell you, if we were going to get some of our hiccups out of the way for going into the postseason, I am glad that some of those hiccups were, presented today.
Mhm.
However, I am I feel like the Bears are going to be up to the challenge to play the Packers under these circumstances of the fact that they do have some injured players. However, and I want to check and see really quick when this game is
Yeah, let me see if I can find that real quick while we're talking.
because my concern is that if you notice today, the Packers sat a bunch of dudes.
Mhm.
Um, they pretty much sat all their studs. Um, Obviously, smart idea, give them some rest. We were playing for something per se, right? We were playing to, you know, lock in. What would that be? A home game,
Yeah, we have a home
right?
game.
Is that kind?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and so I feel like we played some guys. It's going to be important that we get the rest that we need after we played our guys, today. And the Packers starters have been chilling.
Yeah.
That's I'm worried about that a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. So they benched, who did the Packers bench? They benched Love. They benched Josh Jacobs, right? Who else?
Watson,
Watson. Okay. So kind of their injury prone guys. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Is that it? Those three?
There was a whole list. I saw it right before the game started, but those were the core guys that they're
Okay.
like, we're gonna sit those core guys, Watson, Jacobs, Dobbs.
Dobbs.
They
Okay.
said Dobbs. So I think that's going to be an important thing that we need to look at as far as rest.
Yeah. Yeah, this, I mean, could be. Yeah. I think you're, in the case of the first three you mentioned, right? Like Love, Watson, and Jacobs, they were all banged up, right? So the rest is going to be really good for them. Love concussion, right, from playing the Bears. Jacobs, he's just been kind of banged up the last 3, 4 weeks. Watson, I think he's same thing, right? He just came back like a month ago and he was like in and out for the last 3 weeks. Uh,
Yeah,
so those are guys that probably really needed it. I agree with you, right? Like well rested, coming into the first playoff game. It's going to be tough. I mean, if you think, I think back to like the 2010, 2011 season, right? Kind of very similar. Bears locked up the division. Packers made the playoffs, had the wild card. We played them at home. First game, we lost,
we lost.
right? And I thought then we were much better than them. I was really surprised by that loss. I think this year, at least from me, from my perspective, I feel like the teams are pretty even. I mean, I think the defense, I think the Packers get the edge there. Although with Micah Parsons out, maybe it's a little bit more even. And then the offense, their run game is pretty good. So is ours, right? Love is pretty protected. So is Caleb Williams. It comes down to the drops for me on the offense and the catch side, which we know the Bears are notorious for dropping passes.
Now
So
Love will be back, right?
Love
Love
will be
should be
back.
back.
Oh, but I'm not even sure he's the best quarterback on that team.
I mean, who they play today? Clayton Tune.
Was that who they played today?
They played Clayton Tune, and I think they played a few. No, hold
Because
on.
oh yeah, you're right. Malik Willis was out today too. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, they played Clayton Tune today.
I didn't know. I didn't realize. So what's wrong with Malik? Is he out precautionary or is he injured? It says right shoulder hamstring, listed as inactive. Okay. Hmm. Maybe he's hurt. I think Willis is better than Love. That's my opinion. Not a very popular one, but I just think Love is just a little bit too pocket happy. Willis has he's a little bit more dexterity, right? He can get Love can run too, but he doesn't like to do it.
He doesn't like to run.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. I'd be interested to see. That's going to be. I think that's going to play a factor.
Yeah.
Um, at the end of the day, we are two teams that are familiar with each other.
Yeah.
We're what 1-1 against them this year.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is going to be a battle. Did we find out is that game next weekend or is it 2 weeks?
Yeah. So this says the wild card weekend starts January 10th. So yeah, that's next weekend. 10th, 11th, 12th. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then divisional
Okay.
round would be the following week. So the only team that's got a bye is Seattle on the NFC side. On the AFC, who won that? Was that the Bills that got the best record there? Denver. Denver's got a bye on the AFC, and then everybody else plays next week.
So we will be playing next week,
Yeah.
whether it be Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. I'm going to assume that there is a chance that they might make that a primetime game on one of those 3 days.
Yeah.
Um, being as that it's the Bears Packers, being as that you know
Yeah.
it's a big deal.
Well, there's 6 games next weekend over 3 days, so you're looking at two games a day. If they do it evenly, right?
Well, they're doing three. they're doing two Saturday, three Sunday, and one Monday.
Ah, okay. Is that published somewhere?
Yeah, I was looking at ESPN wild card January 8th till the third through the 13th.
Okay.
Um, so they're depending on what happens tonight.
Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears Packers play Monday night.
Really? Okay. Hmm. I
I
mean,
do think that. I mean, unless I can't think of another. I mean, there are more, right? There are going to be other games that are pretty, you know, rivalry based, right? But I can't think of a bigger one than Bears Packers in the first round, for the first weekend of the playoffs.
right, because here's what I think the match is. So correct me if I'm wrong, because this isn't published anywhere, I don't think. Matchup for week one, Bears, Green Bay, Philadelphia, and Bears have home field. Philadelphia has home field against San Francisco, and then Carolina has home field against the Rams. I think that's the seeding.
Yep. Rams at Panthers.
Okay, yep. So that's not a marquee game. That'll probably be the first game. And then you're looking at Eagles, Niners. There's not much of a rivalry. Yeah, you're right. Green Bay, Chicago should be prime time on the NFC, right? And on the AFC side, who is it? It's going to be the Baltimore game's tonight. So that determines who's the last place team gets in on. Or actually, no, that's a division, right? That's for the division.
Yeah, tonight's game is huge.
Yeah. Okay. So New England for sure is playing Los Angeles Chargers, I think. The Jaguars are playing the Bills, and then either Baltimore or Pittsburgh is playing Houston. Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. I think Green Bay, Chicago is the marquee game next weekend.
Yeah, I think it's yeah. I mean, whether it be the late game on Saturday or Sunday, or it be the Monday night football. Waiting all day for Monday night. Like
My guess
if
is Bears are Monday night, and then the late game Saturday is going to be one of those West Coast teams, one of those West Coast matchups.
yeah, like 49ers and
Not that. Well, 49ers, that's at Philadelphia.
okay,
So I think it's going to be probably more so. Oh yeah, these are all so New England's East Coast, Jags are East Coast, Baltimore or Pittsburgh is East Coast. Yeah, those are all the home teams. So I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe there is that's totally up in the air then.
I mean, if we now that we're on the t on kind of what these games potentially look like, although we don't know what's going to happen out tonight yet,
Yeah.
which is going to be a great battle.
Yeah.
Um, I personally think that besides, I don't know, I would say the Rams, right? The Rams have what? Stafford, Puka, that's the Rams, right? Um,
A good run
I
game.
think I think the Super Bowl is up for grabs.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Bills probably are my favorite to win it, just given their experience and deep runs in the playoffs the last few years and their quarterback and that defense is not bad. The Chargers, I just don't know who they rested today, but I saw that score. It was pretty bad. They got blown out. Uh,
Yeah,
Houston could be surprising people, man. Houston's got that nasty defense, probably the top defense remain in the playoffs.
agreed.
And then they've got
Yep.
like, I mean, CJ Stroud is good, they've got their run game's weak, but they've got a good pass game, right? They got a great defense. They could surprise some folks.
I mean,
So
I think another team that's up there, and in no way am I going to discredit the opportunity that our Chicago Bears might have, but look out for the Seahawks too.
yeah, Seahawks are good. Well,
Um,
especially with their home field advantage, right? Because it's really hard going up to Washington and playing there,
yep.
especially if you're from the East Coast, right? Like Philly or Carolina or if either of those two teams play them, that's going to be a tough matchup at Seattle.
Yeah, so I think that next weekend's going to be very telling, obviously. It's really going to kind of set the tone of where we're at. I think that as far as with the Bears, um, I I was disappointed with how that first half went. Like I'm sure all the fans were. Um,
Yeah.
what it was to the point where I'm like, what's happening right now?
Today's game?
Yeah,
Yeah. I missed the first half. But I mean, I didn't miss anything, right? It was 0-0, and it seemed like they were punting every possession. Um, yeah, I mean, look, man, like this is today's like first half of the Bears game. Like I missed most of it, but from I did catch, it's just the reason why I was so down on them, for most of the season. It's just like they couldn't stop anything, right? They couldn't stop the run, they couldn't stop the pass. And then there's all these freaking drops on offense. They couldn't get any momentum going on offense. And then suddenly in the fourth quarter, like something clicked, and then they started like, getting momentum and drives, and they score. They hit the 2-point conversion. They scored again. They hit the 2-point conversion. Like, I don't know why they have to wait till the fourth quarter to get going sometimes,
right. That's what worries me about the playoffs.
Yeah.
Um, we can't if we perform like that next weekend, we're that's it.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm confident enough that Ben Johnson and everybody will come together and kind of think about how they got in their position because the Lions were playing for one thing only, and that was to beat the Chicago Bears, um, and
I mean,
sweep us for the season.
and by the way, the Lions, it's one way. It's not both ways. But the Lions absolutely now, especially, view the Bears as their biggest rival. And that comes from us taking Ben Johnson. You got the running back swap with Swift on our team and Montgomery on their team, right? Like it's just like they have a chip on their shoulder when it comes to the Bears, and it's only been accentuated with these two moves that I just mentioned. And forever, they're going to look at the Bears and they're going to get up and they're going to get excited and they're going to play their best against the Bears. I don't know if it's the same for the Bears. I mean, I know Ben Johnson certainly wants to beat his former team. Ben Johnson wants to win every game, right? But like, I don't think he has that like anger, that chip on his shoulder when he plays the Lions like they do when they play us. Now,
Yeah,
Green Bay's different, right? We do have that chip on our shoulder when we play Green Bay because they've just been beating us, frankly, right, for the last 10 years. And,
yeah. I
and
mean,
Rodgers was such a prick, and everybody hates Rodgers, right? So,
yeah. I mean, it's there's a much longer history I feel within these Bears Packers,
yeah.
but you're right. I think we're creeping it. We don't even the Vikings have never really been in the conversation of I think the Vikings and the Packers are more relative of like, heated rivalry in a sense in our division as opposed to Bears and Vikings. We've never really had like when
Totally.
we play the Vikings, I'm like, it's the Vikings.
Yeah, totally. I agree, man. I agree. Like, I don't know what it is, Vikings, Packers, but given proximity to, the States, you're probably right that there's more of a rivalry there than with us. I don't see the Vikings as a rival at all. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I
They're
mean,
just that purple team
yeah.
that has arguably one of the worst jerseys in the NFL, in my opinion. But
Nah, I give that award goes to the Packers for me, man.
they're up there too.
Yeah.
We're very lucky to have, you know, some pretty sweet, you know, jerseys and logos. Yeah. In
Yeah.
Chicago in general. I think
Yeah.
we are very lucky to have what we have
Yeah.
when it comes to that colors and logos and
Yeah.
but if we look at the Bears in a sense, Ben Johnson did beat the Detroit Lions this year because the Detroit Lions are done
Yeah.
and we are not. So if you look at it like that, from the standpoint of playing each other, sure. Hats off to the Detroit Lions, they got us this year, right? But in the scheme of things, we're still playing next week.
Yeah.
And if we look at it like that, I think Ben Johnson takes his you know takes his pride and keeps pushing it. But
Yeah.
I mean, today was were they maybe not playing their hardest? Do you think? Like what?
The Bears? I think
Yeah, like
no, dude, they were just like honestly, man, it was just like a lot of drops again, right? I mean, I think at one point, either the start of the third or the very end of the second, it was a stat. They showed like already four drop passes. And then right when they showed that stat, there was a fifth one that happened right away. I think that was Luther just popped right out of his hands. So drop passes, man, that's a common theme with this team. DJ Moore has got to go, man. That guy has got to go. He has one good game every 3, 4 games, and otherwise he's moping, he's dropping balls, he's giving up on routes. Like we pay him way too much, man. There's no reason for us to pay that guy what we pay him for the effort we get.
I
And
just don't know why he's so inconsistent being at the level that he is. He had one reception for 11 yards.
I used to really
Um,
love the guy. I used to think he was awesome, but like
he was targeted 3 times. He had one reception, and that was for 11 yards. Why? Why is that the case constantly with him?
he just doesn't like
And
he just gives up on routes, man. He gives up on routes all the time.
who would you say? I know you weren't able to catch some of the game, but I mean, who would you say player of the game was? Let's go with who you think player of the game would be based
Colson
on what you have.
Loveland.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think that he's at 8 or 9 catches for like 90 yards or something like that.
He had 13 targets, 10 receptions for
Yeah.
91 yards and a touchdown.
Wow. Yeah.
Um, that's Luther Burden, 3 receptions, 4 targets for 35 yards. But yes, by far Colson Loveland. Um, a couple solid plays by Cole Komet coming in there too. I mean, it was nice to see. I mean, I am loving our tight ends.
Yeah.
I think that one of the strongest areas of our team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Colson Loveland, man, what a pickup!
Right?
What a pickup!
I was like, you got to get Tyler Warren if he's there. And then they go Colson. I'm like, who? What? What happened?
Yeah,
But Ben knows, man. Yeah, I'm looking at the box score right now too. Yeah, that's crazy. 10 receptions, 91 yards. God damn it. Caleb Williams came 50 yards shy, 58 yards shy of a 4,000 yard season.
I
That's
know,
He still got the record though.
I know. That broke my heart, man. I was really excited. I thought he was going to be able to get that today.
Yeah,
Um, but
he'll get it next year.
I mean, I feel like we lost the game, right? Uh, but Caleb threw an interception. He hasn't thrown one in forever. You can't really get mad at that. It happens. You know what I mean? Like it's football. You're not going to go your whole career and not throw a interception at least once. So it's like uh, I don't think that's a concern. I think that it's not like he is throwing them left and right. So I wasn't even thinking about that when that happened. I was like, it happens, whatever. But
Yeah,
let's talk about the defense really quick
yeah,
as far as like tackles. So Tremaine Edmonds had a day,
yeah. Eight,
7 tackles,
8 total, right? I know.
yeah, 8 total. Jaquan Brisker,
8 total.
great day. CJ Gardner Johnson, nice day.
Yeah.
Um,
Kevin Byard, right? He had an interception too, and eight total tackles
yep. So Andrew Billings, 2 quarterback hits
and a sack. Yeah,
and a sack. Yeah, I mean, I am. Is it the secondary that's the issue? I don't know. Jared Goff was breaking off
yeah,
a couple of potential,
yeah.
other sacks that could have been on there. But I mean, look, hats off to Jared Goff. He's got some good moves inside the pocket and stuff. But I mean, hey, it's a loss. I think they need to shut it down, move forward. Detroit's not even they don't have to worry about Detroit anymore this year.
Yeah.
We got to move forward and we got to think about the Packers. It's going to be a huge game. Um,
To your question on the secondary, if I'm looking at Detroit's box score, their top receiver is Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? You would agree?
yeah,
Okay, so he dominated 11 receptions, 139 yards. He had 15 targets. The next closest person was Jameson Williams with 6 receptions on 8 targets. So you got to assume our best cornerback was guarding him. That would be Jalen Johnson, right? You put your best cornerback on the opponent's best receiver.
yeah. Jalen Johnson had a decent day too.
Well, not good enough.
Not good enough.
Because if his the guy he's guarding had 11 receptions for almost 140 yards. Like
Ben
that's
Johnson needs to make him run some laps,
I
dude.
mean, that's like back to our previous podcast, man. You're paying this guy a ton of money. He's missing half the year due to injuries. Okay, injuries happen. You can't blame a player for injuries. But like he's not it. He's not the guy. He's not the number one that we need. We're fine with Nashawn Wright and you know who's oh yeah, Diggs. All right, yeah, we could have gotten Diggs, but some people
Yeah,
argue he's not that good
I
anymore.
thought that was going to happen.
You did? I
I,
mean,
I I thought for a little. I thought there was. I was above 50%. I thought there was at least a 70% chance that that was going to happen.
because of the Al Harris connection.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought there was a possibility, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, well, where's he gonna play? We already got like 3 starters that we like. Anyway, yeah, I
I'm
don't know,
okay
man.
that we didn't.
I mean, on defense, I think they played zone defense against us, which it took us a long time to like crack for some reason. I don't know why. I think we game plan for for man defense, man coverage. And they went to the zone. So I think that's why we had a slow start on offense. Compound that with the drop passes. Looks like we never got our run game going, right?
Uh,
Swift had 40
no,
yards. Monangai had 14 yards total rushing. That's
no, yeah, Manangai.
so yeah, we never really got our run game going. So the play action passes is not going to work if you don't have a run game. So yeah, I mean, like they got us, right? Their zone got us, and on defense, yeah, I mean it's got to be the secondary. You
Yeah,
know, put the blame on the secondary, even though we had a really great pick from our safety in the second half, and the first half was pretty bad.
we have some work to do. That's for sure. And I think that Ben Johnson is the right person to kind of, you know, bring the team back together and look at what they need to improve on. And they have good film from 2 games against the Packers already. And I think that, you know, I feel like we are the right team per se to be able to overcome and really get refocused for, what's to come, because that's the only thing that's important right now. The game's over. And um I worry about rest.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I hear you on rest. I agree to an extent, right? Like where I kind of like I differ from you on the rest piece is none of our players, maybe Luther Burden because he got a contusion last week, but none of our players are really banged up.
No.
We're relatively healthy. You know, our quarterbacks in a lot in good health. Did it snow or some shit, man? I'm sorry. I keep looking. My neighbor's like driving up and down the street and they're like in one of those gators, and I'm like, what are you doing, bro?
Was it joyriding?
Yeah. Anyway, so what are your projections for the first round? Let's start with NFC.
All right, let's go. Hold on, let me pull this. I'm gonna go with
The Bears, Green Bay. Who do you like there?
I'm taking the Bears.
Bears. Okay. Philadelphia, San Francisco at Philadelphia.
I'm gonna be honest with you, with the momentum that Brock Purdy's pulled out in the last couple weeks. Mind you, he is the reason why I did not make it to the fantasy football championships. I'm going to go with Brock Purdy and the 49ers.
Yeah, I agree with you on both those. Actually, I don't know about the Bears. I'm not sure on that one. But I agree with you on the Niners beating Philadelphia. They just haven't impressed me this year. It's just they've had a kind of weak offense and their defense seems like they make some stupid mistakes, but their defense is pretty good. All right.
It is not the Philadelphia that we are used to seeing in previous years, for sure.
Yeah. Rams, Panthers. I think that's an easy one.
Yep, Rams.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though it's at Carolina, the Rams should mollywop them. Okay. I think we agree. I just don't know about these Bears, man. I just don't know if they're gonna beat the Packers. The only thing I give them is the home field advantage. I just don't love that we've just lost two in a row. We're going in with no momentum. We can't even say we've got the benefit of the weather because the Packers have shitty weather too. They know how to play in that weather. I'm on the fence, man. I've gonna have to see the line and really kind of dig into the injuries before I make a call on that one. It's kind of a toss up right now for me.
That's fair. Yeah, I think it's going to come down to a couple things. I think that um, realistically, I think that regardless of me saying that I'm obviously going to say that we all want the Bears to win, right? But realistically, I think it is going to be an absolute battle, and um, that's what we all want to see a great game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a battle back and forth for the entire four quarters of just this is it, man. We haven't. When's the last time we were in this position with this record? I can't even think back. Probably what?
Is that the double doink? Are you talking about that season?
I think that was it.
Yeah, that's 19, 2018, 2019.
Yeah. 2018-19 season.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So it's been a minute. And so, you know, I think it's important that we definitely look at it realistically. And I'm with you on the fact that, like, uh, I wouldn't put my money on either team right now for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. It's yeah. It'll be a good game, I hope.
Yeah.
On the AFC side, who do you got? New England. Nope. Yeah, New England versus Chargers at New England.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you, dude. Look out for the Patriots. They got something under their rear ends this year, man. And I think that they have a solid squad. I think that they've put something together, dude. They've put something together that the Patriots haven't had since. I mean, obviously it was different when they had Tom Brady, but like they haven't really been that good. They haven't been that relevant. And so I think that there's a very good shot um, that New England can break through with Drake May and Stevenson and all those players that have been having some really good years. So I'm gonna go with New England.
Okay. I'm gonna actually gonna go with the Chargers, and it's more about I just don't believe the New England Patriots are what their record represents. Here's who they played this year. They lost to the Raiders in week one. They went to Miami and won by 6. They lost to the Steelers in week 3. They hosted the Panthers and beat them. They went to the Bills and won that game by 3. That's a good win. Then they went to the Saints and beat the Saints. Then they went to the Titans and beat the Titans. They hosted the Browns and beat the Browns. They hosted the Falcons and beat the Falcons by 1 point. They went to the Bucks and beat the Bucks. They hosted the Jets and won that. They went to the Bengals and won that game. And they hosted the Giants and won that game. They hosted the Bills and lost that game as their second game with the Bills. They split that one. They beat the Ravens at the Ravens. They beat the Jets at the Jets, and then they beat the Dolphins. They have not played anybody except for the Bills. I
Fair
mean,
assessment.
that is a
Fair,
garbage schedule if I've seen a garbage schedule. I don't
fair
trust this team.
assessment. Fair.
I can't trust this team, man. Like the two you did split against the Bills, right? I give you that, but like you won one by three, you lost one by four. Okay. But Jesus, man, like have you ever seen a 14-3 team with such a garbage schedule before?
No, and I think your example is strength of schedule is a prime. I mean that's a factor, and I I don't know what it is, man, but New England, although their strength of schedule has been weak, I, I'm going to go with New England.
Okay, that's fair. Now let's talk about the other team, right? The Chargers schedule. They beat the Chiefs. This is while Mahomes was healthy. They beat the Raiders. They beat the Broncos. They lost to the Giants at the Giants by three. They lost to the Commanders. So pretty bad losses there. They beat the Dolphins. They lost to the Colts when the Colts. This was before the Colts had their injuries. They beat the Vikings, the Titans, the Steelers. Then they lost to the Jaguars. They beat the Raiders, the Eagles, the Chiefs again without Mahomes. They beat the Cowboys, and then they lost to the Texans, and they lost to Denver. So more losses for sure, but a much tougher schedule.
Yeah,
Broncos twice, Chiefs twice, Eagles, Texans. Even the Cowboys, the second half of the year, they had a pretty good defense. They were a different team, right?
well, Broncos whooped on them today.
Yeah, they lost to the Broncos today. But did they play their players today? Did they rest out their team?
I think they rest most of their team.
I don't think Herbert played. Yeah, I think they rested a lot of their guys. So anyway, so I'm going Chargers. You're going New England. How about Jacksonville versus the Bills at Jacksonville?
You know what? What is that? Trevor Lawrence versus Josh Allen?
Yeah.
That's going to be a fun game to watch too. That actually could potentially be one of those primetime games as well. But I got to tell you, that's one game that I don't know. I don't know because you know what I mean. Like Josh Allen and the Bills, a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, they've been there. They've
Yeah, they've
been there.
been they've been banging this year.
They've been, So I think that game's going to come down to like a field goal.
Hmm.
That game might come down to a field goal, or it'll be a one touchdown game, maybe. Like that is going to be, in my opinion, a pretty even matchup. As far as two good quarterbacks, two good quarterbacks right now. If I had to pick one, right? If I had to
You
pick
have to pick
one,
one, man. You have to pick one.
I'm going with Bills.
Okay. I go with Bills too. I just think that uh, the Bills have just way more playoff experience. They're just a better rounded team in general. I like what don't get me wrong, I like what Jacksonville's done this year. But part of me is kind of like it's kind of like with the Bears. Like I'm not a full believer. I think they've done some really nice things in pockets, but like then they do the thing I thought they were gonna do and they disappoint. Anyway, next game, this is the Houston game. So Houston's either playing Pittsburgh or Baltimore. Let's do both. So if Houston's playing Pittsburgh, who do you like?
Houston,
If Houston's playing Baltimore, who do you like?
Houston.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree
I,
with you.
I, I don't think the Steelers or the Ravens have had a crazy year, dude.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think tonight this is going to be a great game. It really is. I mean, but Baltimore has not. Baltimore pulled it out of their ass to get to this point right here. Like we're talking about in Baltimore's got some squad members. Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews. They got some guys. Lamar Jackson should have been a lot better this year. He's struggled, obviously, but
Mhm.
they've managed to get themselves into this position. I do not think either of these teams have the ability and the strength to beat Houston right now. Houston's defense is too good.
Too good. I agree with you, man. And Lamar's going to play, and he says he's healthy now and whatever, but he's been garbage for 6, 7 weeks. I mean, I had him in fantasy, and he basically lost me my season. I mean, he's
Yeah,
garbage. I think he scored like 7 points a game on average the last 6 weeks. It's been bad.
it's
Uh,
been so bad, dude.
and then
I'm
Derek,
I'm I'm excited to see who like I'm excited to see who wins this game and who ends up playing them, but I don't think either of them will be
no,
Houston.
no. And frankly, I hope Baltimore does make the playoffs just because I just don't want Rodgers to have any sniff of success. I can't stand that guy.
I'm 100% going for the Baltimore Ravens tonight, and we're on the same page with that. Aaron Rodgers just needs to leave. Tired of him, dude.
Oh my God. What the
Like
heck?
you had your moment, dude. See ya.
Peace out, man. Well,
And no one cares about your weird, you know, conspiracy theory political views either. Go play football and go retire. See ya.
we'll touch grass.
Yeah.
Hold on. My freaking God damn it, man. I got logged out of Microsoft. I got logged back in because my agenda is gone. 1 second. Let me pull it up here. Okay. All right. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I've got this my company is when I joined, we had both Google Suite and Outlook. And this is the problem with private companies that are bootstraps. They're just freaking cheap as hell. And so these guys just got rid of the wrong one. They got rid of Google Suite and it kept Outlook, despite everybody saying we want to keep Google. I don't know why. They probably cheaped out and went the cheap route. But anyway, I tell you this because Outlook, literally, I'm sitting at my computer. It will literally log me out like 6 times a day while I'm working on my computer. It's just ridiculous. So
Like
anyway,
you'll be mid task and it'll just lock you out.
yeah, I'll be mid-email and it'll freaking log me out. It's just so annoying. Anyway, I'm logged back in. I got my the agenda back here. All right, so we got a couple of storylines, key injuries. We talked about some of that. Look, let's think about the last thing I want to think about. And we should probably thought about this before we talked about our expectations for next round, but we could do it in the context of expectations for the whole entirety of the playoffs. Keep in mind, right, weather and run game, right? Those are two really important factors this time of year. So with those two factors in mind, who is your Super Bowl winner?
Great question. I think it's going to be the Rams.
The Rams. Okay. I like it.
I think it's going to be the Rams. Um, I don't know what it is, but I think that they're just one of the more stronger teams um, with their squad. Um, I don't like saying that, but I think that they're a team that can, they can go all the way.
Well, I mean, Stafford's having an MVP caliber season. You got to imagine Devontae Adams will be back for the playoffs. They've got a good run game. Um, so yeah, I don't think I don't think that's a far fetch. It's a hard question. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 teams I could legitimately see winning it. To your point earlier, right? There's no clear cut Super Bowl favorite. I could see the Bills just because of their experience. I feel like they've been so close the last few years, and this is their year. That's kind of my lean. But I agree with you. I could see the Rams doing it. I could see the 49ers and the 49. The Super Bowl is at Candlestick Stadium. So they would
They're
have the,
playing for that. Yeah.
right, they could have that home field, Super Bowl game, which would be kind of fun.
And it doesn't happen every year.
No, it
So,
rarely.
so like they're this is the one year
Yeah.
and they got some guys on defense that are straight injured out. So I mean they're not even at their 100 and they're not at their 100% and they've been
You know what?
and two have Christian McCaffrey.
They're saying Fred Warner will be back for the second round of the playoffs. They're getting
Like
help.
out.
Bosa's out, right? But yeah, but they're getting a major piece of their, linebacking core back.
Yeah.
By the way, I was seeing some videos of this guy. He's doing like ninja backflips and working. Have you seen that?
No.
He's like
No.
he's like a mixed martial artist or something, and he was doing like these backflips and like he was working a punching bag, and he was doing these crazy round kicks and like it was insane. I was like, this guy looks like a fighter, and
Fred Warner,
yeah, yeah, it's impressive,
this
really
dude's
impressive,
coming out karate kicking people
right?
on the sideline.
But no, I mean, look, so I think it's the Bills, but I could see the Rams, I could see the 49ers, really. I could see those three teams doing it. Um, of course, there'll probably be none of those teams, and we'll see some random team like the Panthers or some shit make it.
Right? Like we're so wrong on all of our predictions and like something really like something crazy in the atmosphere happens and
Yeah,
freaking some random quarterback comes in second string and takes him to the promised land.
hilarious. All right, well let's switch gears here. Let's get on our second topic of the day, college football. All right, last week or last time we talked about this, I don't think it had started, but they had the seeding done. So now we're at the semis. We've got the top bracket, number one versus number five. That's Indiana versus Oregon. And in the bottom bracket, you've got number 10 versus number six, which is Miami versus Ole Miss. Um, first of all, are you surprised by these teams? What's your kind of like pulse on that?
All right, so I've been waiting for this topic. Um, you know what? Good for Miami. And I say that because it was a weird thing, during the game for me to sit here and say that I wanted Miami to win.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, I can't stand Ohio State, but Miami taking that slap from Notre Dame, who's a team I've always rooted for. It's the one in Notre Dame and Miami being rivals. Um, it was, I did not expect the score to be 24-14 um, in that fashion with a team like Miami. Um, so I was pleasantly surprised um, and very happy with that outcome. The Ole Miss Georgia game, that was a good game. That was a good football game. Close game, 39-34. Um, I mean, that was one of those games where I think that was a typical first round or quarterfinals of college football playoffs. I thought that was a good matchup.
Hmm.
Um, now let's get to the real deal here. Um, what a show by Indiana and um, Alabama's Alabama. The in my opinion, the every year hype around Alabama, I think, has been put on a major pause.
Yeah,
Um, I think the only reason why they were in there is because it's Alabama.
yeah.
I think that they didn't have a squad this year that should have been there. I think it was came out came down to money and popularity. It's Alabama. All they have in Alabama is Alabama football. That's it. And so it's like I was. going nuts, man, with Indiana having the time of their lives in that game, and it was cool to see that. I think this weekend's going to be a true test.
Mhm.
Um, what
Yeah.
are your thoughts on what you saw up to now?
Yeah. I mean, look, don't take offense to this, right? The whole Notre Dame Miami thing. I'm just so sick of Notre Dame. It's just like they're the most victim fucking team out there. It's like, woe is me, and it's like we're too good to join a conference, and but we want all the perks of joining like get over yourselves. No one cares except for your following. That's it. Um, between Alabama and Notre Dame, there was so much shit talking on social media. Like both those teams were talking mad shit about Indiana before the game, before the Alabama game. Alabama was saying, "All right, we won this one. Next, who are we playing next?" Like they were just so dismissive of Indiana. And Notre Dame is now even still saying that they're the best team in Indiana, and they're just talking shit. So I'm just kind of over Notre Dame for just the whole like constantly thinking they're like God's gift to earth. Um, I thought it was really validating to see Miami do so well. Starting with their game against A&M, right? If they had lost that first game, Notre Dame would have had, a very legitimate reason for being upset to not make it. But they lost, but Miami won that first game. They beat Texas A&M, who a lot of people were saying it has one of the top three defenses in college football. And then they absolutely demolished Ohio State, and I was not expecting that at all. Uh,
No,
Now, keep in mind, even going back to last year, every single team with a bye, the first game has lost their first round, the first game they played, except for Indiana this year. I was,
I mean, there's something to be said about that.
I mean, there is, right? Because like Indiana had 27 days off between their last game and this game against Alabama. I mean, think about that. When have you ever had 27 days off of anything and come back and hit your stride?
Right.
Even
That's what I was
more.
worried about initially. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
I was like, that's one of those examples of I'm worried about the gap. I'm worried about the rest.
Yeah.
But look, they proved us wrong. And to your point about Notre Dame, dude, as a Notre Dame fan, I agree with you. I think that times are starting to change as far as um, it's almost like a shit or get off the pot type of thing. And the get off the pot would be to join an actual conference. I think these days of this independent shit, um, look, you got enough freaking money. You got enough. You got enough fan base. Um, I think that. I mean, I didn't. I wasn't crying or losing sleep when Notre Dame didn't make it. It's not a big deal to me. It's like, oh, okay, we didn't make it. The thing is that it's nice to see other teams. Like somebody else should have taken Alabama's spot. Somebody else should have taken Ohio State's spot. I mean, granted, Ohio State, yeah, whatever. They're ranked number two, but I mean, it's nice to see those other teams, and so it's okay to not have Notre Dame in the playoffs this year. And you know what? I think that this could be a potential wake up call for them to like, hey, if you want to be serious contenders, even though you might have a good team or a decent team, join a conference
Yeah.
and like play the squads that have a strength and schedule that is not the same damn schools every freaking it, and so I'm with you on that. I think that it's a magical year for, in my opinion, I think it's a magical year right now for Miami as well.
Yeah.
Miami hasn't been this good in a minute either.
Right.
And so, I mean, it's nice to see that. And I think that it's going to be, Miami's got a real shot in beating Ole Miss. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that.
They're
I
favored.
mean,
They're favored by 3.5 right now.
yeah, they got a real shot in beating Ole Miss. And I think that, I mean, there's no doubting Indiana. Indiana. I don't care if they're playing Oregon. I don't care if Oregon has a lot more experience in this position. we came Indiana came to do business, and they did it so professionally, in my opinion. I think they carry themselves well, and I think that has to do with the coach.
Yeah.
I think that has to do with Fernando, who has my favorite post game interviews. Um, they're so cheesy, but they're so kind, and like he's so like positive, and
Yeah.
like it's cool to see that.
Yeah. No, it is, man, and I'll get more into Indiana in a minute. But first, I just kind of want to wrap on the other teams. I agree with you, man. It's nice to have fresh blood in this tournament and in the playoffs here. By the way, before the playoffs ever existed for college football, I thought bowl games were the biggest joke in the freaking world. I mean, one year the Cotton Bowl is the best bowl to go to. The other year is the Fiesta Bowl. The next year is what the hell kind of sense did that make? Made no freaking sense. And then it was always like, well, we have four teams with the same record tied. How do we determine? It was just all favoritism. It was just a freaking joke. And so I'm really glad they went to a playoff bracket style. I'm glad they expanded this year. Um, One thing I wasn't clear on was the quarterfinals. I don't think anybody had a home field advantage there, right? I think those were all at specific bowl venues, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
those
there,
are those are usually at specific neutral.
yeah, all neutral sites. Yeah.
Dude,
Um,
I agree with you, man. It's like, come on, dude. What do we need a Pop Tart bowl? It's
well,
like,
there
come
is.
on, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So look, glad to see new blood in it. I think Miami surprised me. I did not even have them beating Texas A&M in the first round. Certainly, having played Ohio State, they were impacted by the rust. I mean, they also had 3+ weeks off, and that was not the same team that we played in the conference finals. That was not the same Ohio State team.
No,
Um, they got whooped. I'm kind of glad too, because frankly, I didn't want to face Ohio State again. And I'm getting ahead of myself, of course, right? But the Georgia Ole Miss game, I was look at that cutie. Hi,
he's getting
puppy.
he's getting big, dude.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
Look up there. Say go Hoosiers.
What's up, Bubba? But no, I was surprised that Georgia lost to Ole Miss. That was another surprise for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
I think Ole Miss is a great story with Lane Kiffin leaving and them moving on. By the way, he's made over $500,000 in bonuses just for winning that first game, and then another 500 for winning the second game. I think it jumps up to 1.5 million more if he either makes the championship game or wins the championship. So this guy is going to potentially get $2.5 more million after quitting on his team. How about that? God
that
bless
fucking
America.
guy, dude. What a joke.
What a clown. But anyway, glad for the team, man, because that defensive coordinator has assumed the interim head coach, and he's doing both the offense coordinating and the defense coordinating now, and he's doing a damn good job.
Yeah.
Um, Ole Miss, Miami, we talked about this. Miami's 3.5 point favored. That means we're at least going to see a 6 seed in the championship game, maybe even a 10 seed in the championship game, which will be interesting.
Yep.
And then on the other side, we talked about Alabama. Did you know that that is the biggest beatdown they've had since 1998?
No.
Alabama has not lost by that many points since 1998.
I also heard another stat that was the biggest whooping in the Rose Bowl. One, it's in like the top 6 or 7 biggest, you know, ass whoopings in Rose Bowl history.
Wow, I did not know that one.
Yeah, it's like if I find it, I'll send it to you. But yeah, I believe it. Alabama probably hasn't lost that badly in a really long time in a lot of in any circumstances. But from a Rose Bowl perspective, that win margin is like top 5, I think.
Jesus.
Top
Wow.
6. Yeah. So Indiana did a number.
it's just the whole concept of the SEC being God's gift to earth. Just kind of like I was saying about Notre Dame. It's just like get over yourselves. Get over it. You're not. It ain't the same anymore. You can't just cheat and you're only ones getting away with it. Everybody now gets nil money. It's legal now. Everybody's
Yeah.
playing by the same rules. So eat it. You know what? And and, and,
Yep.
and they've been exposed, right? They've been exposed. I don't know if the coach survives this. Nothing against Dewar, but he has we embarrassed them. And I was on Twitter, all weekend, and the fans are still crying.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're still crying about it.
The Alabama, like I said, that's all Alabama. Like that's it. There
Well, they
is
got, yeah, yeah,
like Crimson Tide football is Alabama. And
yeah.
when you get whooped by Indiana, who has not shown a football program to get to this level
Worst
ever,
team,
right?
worst team in the history of college football until this year, right? Like record
Um,
wise, record
you are
wise,
embarrassed on many levels. You are embarrassed on many levels.
totally
And
embarrassed them. Now,
so good.
you want to talk about embarrassed too, is Texas Tech. I mean, look, Alabama at least put up 3 points. Texas Tech didn't put up a single point.
Yeah.
They had the home field apparently, or not the home field, but they were the favored. Again, them two coming off a bye got smoked. Got sm-
They got smoked. And I believe in our previous podcast, I called an upset.
I think you did. I think you liked Texas Tech. Yeah.
I like Texas Tech, and boy, oh boy, that obviously didn't come to fruition. That is not even like if I was a Texas Tech fan, I would just like you might as well have not played the game.
Yeah.
Like what's the point? You didn't score a touchdown, dude.
You didn't
You didn't
score.
get a field goal. It's like what a waste of like obviously you don't anticipate that, but it's heartbreaking when those type of things happens. But yeah, it is going to be we got what? We got a 10, a 6, a 1, and a 5 to go to the championship.
Yeah.
And it is I'm excited, dude. I'm excited. I think this I think Indiana has a very, very, very real chance of taking it to the big show this year. I
Yeah.
really do.
They're favorites to go there, right? To get there. Look, you know what's interesting though? Like Oregon, I don't know nearly as much about Oregon this year as I do about Indiana. I watched all Indiana games. I only watched one Oregon game, and that's when we played them at Oregon. They got a good team, man. Like that is a legit team. They have a good defense. Their quarterback is going to be a top three pick in the NFL draft. He's legit. He's got dual, he can pass and he can run. He's a dual threat. They got a good O line. That's a legitimate team. I still think Indiana wins. I mean, we beat them at Oregon by 10. So now on a neutral field, I think we have more of an advantage. Plus, it's at the Peach Bowl, which I believe is in Atlanta, which is much closer to Indiana than it is to Oregon. So I think we're going to travel a while to that game. It's going to feel like a home game, I think, for Indiana. And oh, here's an interesting stat about Indiana that I don't know if you know. So they played 14 games so far, including the conference title game and this quarterfinals game against Alabama. 14 games. How many touchdowns do you think they've given up?
5.
So close. Six. They've given up 6 touchdowns all year. This is a bend don't break defense. Like they will give up the yards between the 20s, but they will lock down the red zone. Like this team is it's really hard to score on this Indiana team.
That's
So,
what they need. I mean,
mhm.
that is that's exactly what a team like that is capable of doing in order to win. That's what you need, dude. Like, sure, you need to score points, right? But if you can lock down other squads that have some pretty remarkable athletes that that's what they do is they score. Six. Wow.
That's wild. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day, dude. What that's a wild stat.
It's
I at first I was like, ooh, I think I need to go a little bit higher, but I was like, nah, they're having a season. I was pretty close.
you were close.
I
You
was
were
like, yeah, I mean that's impressive.
who so
What are you it was super fun, the vibe. Like I watched it with my sister, my dad, my stepmom even came out. Like my dad had
nice.
an Indiana shirt on.
Nice.
Like, so it's cool. It's my sister was going nuts, and I was just happy for her, um she I think I'm gonna try and connect with her for the big game on Friday night. But
Awesome.
um what have you been doing? Just glued to the TV watching it at your house or
Yeah. Yeah. I was watching well let's go back to the conference game, right? The conference game against Ohio State a month ago, I guess it was. Um I was watching it. I definitely had to smoke, right? Because I had to calm my nerves.
yeah.
Um, Missy popped in a couple times just to make sure I wasn't like suicidal or anything like that. And to her surprise, I was like super happy and right. So we won that game and it was super exciting. And I was up all night because I was so wired I could sleep. And then this Bama game was pretty similar, except that one was a like the Ohio State game was like a close game till the last second. This game was a beatdown from the beginning. I take that back. The first series, IU got sacked twice in a row. I was like, oh shit, this is, Alabama, they're so much bigger, whatever. But after that, I mean, it was just a beatdown, and there was just no concern.
No.
Um, so that was a much more relaxed, vibe. But yeah, I watched that. I was glued to the TV, and I'll do the same for this weekend, the next weekend game against Oregon. That one, I'll probably be texting with Steve. He went to Oregon. Uh,
Yeah.
Novak. He was chirping a little bit at me and Lindsay before we played the regular season game, and he was pretty confident. And then after the game, he was like, "Oh, salute, man! I didn't realize Indiana was as good as they are." Um, but that's going to be a good game. I think the winner of that game, Indiana Oregon, I think the winner of that game wins it all. That
I agree.
that's where my money is.
I'm
Uh,
with you on that. I think that that's going to be the game. There's some great games on. I mean, next weekend is just packed with super important football, college, NFL.
yeah,
Um, so it'll be very telling. But I mean, it is one of those things where uh, you never know, and that's the fun thing about sports. And I think Indiana, I think Miami, I think both those teams. All four of the teams have something going for them. They've made it to this point. But I think that with what we saw from Miami last weekend and what we saw from Indiana last weekend, um,
yeah,
they've got something going.
yeah,
So if I had to make a prediction, I'm going Indiana, Miami, national championship, January 19th in Miami Gardens, Florida. And that place is going to be freaking popping off like crazy because I don't know how well Indiana travels, but I'm sure they're going to travel pretty well to that game.
yeah.
Um,
I didn't realize that was Miami. Shit. Well, yeah. Well, they better travel.
yeah,
But I agree with you. I have the same outcome. I just find that Miami is just on such a roll right now, and their quarterback back is really good. Um, they've got all the former players, are on the sidelines, just amping them up. Ray Lewis, Michael Irvin last week was pretty fun to watch them just celebrating on the
and
sidelines.
they got a lot of players that are freaking Hall of Famers coming out of Miami,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Remember Miami in the '90s, dude? Oh
Yeah.
my
They
God.
do. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dude, there's like two or three documentaries about those teams. They're nuts. They
I
were
know.
nuts, crazy good. Got
Totally.
in a lot of trouble, but they were crazy good.
Yeah. Yeah. If you get a chance, listen to the what was his name? Who's that tight end the Bears drafted that was from Miami? He was good.
Uh,
White guy.
Greg Olson,
Greg Olson. Listen to
third
his
leg Greg, dude.
yeah, listen to his mixtape that he
Oh
did
yeah,
with the
I've heard
Miami
it.
Boys. Oh, that's
They
fun.
said they used to call him third leg Greg.
Third leg Greg. Third leg Greg. Yep, 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 yep. Too funny. Well, that was a
Oh
little
yeah,
extra.
dude. He was there. He was like that token white boy
Yeah,
that was just huge and jacked and like was part of the crew.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he was towards the end of their little dynasty there, but still, man, that was part of that whole Miami U like crazy years. But yeah, so I think we're
Yes.
in agreement on the championship. You know what's crazy? There is, I think it's about 12,000 total D1 college football players. Over 4,500 of them are in the transfer portal.
You know what? I did you just catch that on ESPN or on
Saw
is
that
that
yesterday. I saw that stat yesterday. Isn't that freaking bananas?
where they want to go?
A third of them are in the transfer. I don't know. I think some of them is like, most of them is them wanting to get more money, right? But then there's some that like the coaches are like, hey, you're better off transferring.
You'll get more playing time,
There's a chunk of those for sure. Yeah.
which
Um,
I get that. I mean, if I'm a college athlete, I want to be on the I want to play I want to be on the field. And
yeah,
if the transfer portal is where I got to go, then that's what I got to do.
yeah.
Dude just bit me.
Oh, ouch.
Um, but yeah, I mean, but that is a crazy number.
That's
There's
insane.
gonna
It's
be
a
a lot
third.
of transfers.
Insane, man. Insane. What's
But you know
have you,
what?
yeah.
You know what though? Come on, Bear. I'm trying to do my show here, man. Uh, there's gonna be a special guest one of these weeks. Um, is I was telling my sister this with the season that Indiana's having. I'm using Indiana as an example because it's not known as like a football program, right? There, it is now, right? At least for moving forward for a couple years, if they can keep the momentum, because they got Fernando's brother. Because Fernando's gonna go. He's
Oh, yeah.
gonna go. He's gonna go.
He needs to
But
be the number one pick.
yeah, he needs to. But the thing is that now Indiana is on the freaking map for top, you know, 4, 3, 4, 5 star players that want to go there and play because they have the momentum. So I'm excited to see who's going to transfer there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, or
Some
who they're
names
going to
came,
pick up.
there's already some names that came through today. People committed today.
Oh, really?
So do you know the Texas Tech quarterback? Or not Texas Tech, I'm sorry, TCU.
Texas Christian? I don't remember the name, but
He committed to IU. Um, so he is Fernando's brother is not going to be starting. Uh, let's see here.
is he not that good?
He's no, he's not that good. He's like also like 3 inches shorter than his brother. He's not built the same as his brother at all. Josh Hoover, TCU quarterback. Supposed to be really good. I mean, I think he threw for like 3,900 yards or something like that. Um, they got Nick Marsh, wide receiver from Michigan State. They got Turbo Richard, running back from Boston College. That's a great name, Turbo. Um,
Hey,
Toby,
watch, he's super slow.
watch, right? Toby Tsunami, edge from Kansas State. He's supposed to be a beast. Preston Zachman, safety from Wisconsin. So yeah, they got a few guys. LeVar Keys, wide receiver from Penn State.
Okay.
So some guys, man, they got some guys already committed. That's pretty impressive given that the portal just opened and we're preparing for, a semifinal matchup here. Have you
Hey,
heard any names for Notre Dame?
I've been paying attention.
Yeah, it just
I,
opened.
I, I kind of. I've kind of I've directed my focus as far as like what's to come in baseball. I'm paying a little bit more attention to the White Sox
Oh,
than I am with Notre Dame. Whatever, Notre Dame. They're good. I'm 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 always going to be a fan of theirs, but it, it's not as prevalent as it once was in my sports fanatic journey. You know what
days.
I mean? Like I got other teams that I'd like to focus on and pay attention to, and um, so yeah, I'm excited for who the Bears can, or the White Sox can potentially get. But at the same time, I just think it's cool to see that you know players are going to now be like, I want to go to IU, I want to go to which as you being an alumni, you probably don't see that as much as you're about to. And I don't know too many of the players that you named off, but the fact that you know that they're good players,
I don't really either. It's just from what I read today. I don't know what their star ranking is or anything like that. But yeah. No, I mean, look, you made a really great point. It's they're now on the map. They're now a destination team for players who want to win now. I think here's what you're going to see in college football, right? You're going to see programs, and you're seeing some coaching turnover, right? You still got Kirby Smart with Georgia, right? But you got a new coach at Bama, you got a new names at some of these other marquee programs. They have to prove themselves if they want to keep getting the players, right? They might get those recruits out of high school still, because that's a long pipeline. But like the transfer portal is a different story, right? And like a lot of it's gonna have to do how much about the money, right? But like if you're a program like Indiana, here's why I think Indiana's going to have the advantage. Indiana now has money. They now have the reputation, but they're still not going for the five-star flashy names. They're going for the culture fit. That's what they're
right,
going for. And so, A, they're not going to have to spend as much because sometimes these guys are not as known and they don't require as much money. Um, but B, you're like Pickens, right? George Pickens on the Cowboys. Came out of college, he had the worst reputation. That's why he dropped in the draft. Guys like that are not going to IU. Like
no,
IU is not going to go after guys like that because if they know that if they do, it completely destroys their whole culture. And if you destroy that culture, you're not winning.
right. That's a
So
good point.
so I think Indiana's going to have a long advantage just if they continue to recruit the way they have, even in the portal. They've got money now. I think after the win against Alabama, I read that there was like four or five like ultra rich donors that donated seven figures each to IU booster. So like you're getting the money. It's not going to basketball, it's going to football, which is wild. So we'll see, man. As long as Signetti's there, I feel good.
I'm with you. Yeah, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Friday night's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's going to be a very well viewed game. I think the numbers on whatever they can, viewership or whatever they call it, or
Yeah.
it's going to be pretty well
Yeah.
viewed.
I agree, man. I agree.
Um, and I'm excited to see what happens. And I think that I just realized right now that Miami Ole Miss game is actually on Thursday.
Oh, Thursday, huh?
Yeah, that's on Thursday night.
All right.
So that will be very telling as well. Kind of, boy, I can't wait to get to Thursday now.
I know, right? Woo! This week's getting better.
Right?
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Well,
Um,
we'll have to have our next episode here. I don't know when we do it, either next week or the week after. Um, but exciting times, man. At least we've got some football to look forward to, right? There's no basketball right now because our teams suck at basketball. Uh,
yep.
and it's fun. It's fun to still have football going.
The fact that we still have football going on all levels is awesome. Um, it makes these extra cold months definitely feel a lot more exciting as far as, getting dark so early. Doesn't matter. We got football.
Yeah.
You know, but I say we see what happens. I say let's wait and see till that NFL schedule comes out.
Yeah.
Um, which will be by tomorrow, right? And kind of base it off of that. Um, but I say we should definitely shoot for next Sunday, because it's gonna we're gonna have some results. Only if the Bears game has happened already.
Yeah.
So I'm also down to do like a weeknight one too. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Well, we'll be in touch. We'll talk about that. But look, man, to wrap up, let's just want to give a big shout out to you. Thanks for your contributions. Really love catching up with you too, man. It's my favorite part, but it's great that we can do this and have fun with it. And I could take criticism about my teams. You could take criticism about your teams. It's just all fun and games.
so it's a game. Yep.
And no, I appreciate you, man. And it's always good to see you. And I hope you get out here soon. And then I want to give shout out to Missy because she's always just supporting everything I do and not asking much of me. So she makes my life a lot easier.
I love that, man. And shout out to you for starting this. I tell people about it, dude. I'm like, I got a podcast. I'm on this podcast with Couchy. We just talk about sports and it's fun. There's no, this isn't, what's that part of the interruption or anything. This isn't, we're just having a nice talk and it's just nice to catch up with you. So thank you for making me a part of it. It's been definitely something I look forward to. And Tay knows I get excited about it because I'll tell her, hey, I got my podcast. I got my podcast tonight, a couple hours. And she's like, oh, do your thing, do your thing. Okay.
Nice.
So she's totally supportive as well. So shout out to her. Um, but hey, we are in 2026 now. So much to look forward to. And yes, a visit out to you is in the very near future. I just got to talk to Mr. Vacation whenever he returns.
Your birthday boy.
The birthday boy, yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of go from there. But I'll definitely say late January, February for sure.
Cool, man. All right.
Um, but tell Missy I said hi and that we said hi and um, let's touch base on our next one with our predictions being IU to the promised land.
Let's do it, man. All right, brother. Well, I'll be in touch with you this week. We'll figure out our next episode. And thanks again, my brother.
Thanks, man. Love you.